Hey, so I read on a forum a question regarding using the JDX with a bass amp. Radial does say that the JDX can be used on a bass amp up to 300 watts. I have an Ampeg SVT3-PRO, which does 275 watts into 8 ohms, and that's how I have it configured. I'll be capturing 3 different signals for comparison. I'll be playing the GNL 1505 with the preamp engaged and the tone knob centered. That runs directly into the Radial JDI, which goes into a Focusrite ISA1 microphone preamp and into my RME Fireface 800. From there we go into the bass amp. The bass amp also has a DI, and that DI is configured to come after the preamp. That's the second signal I'm capturing. And lastly, the Radial JDX. Now, I've had my chance to listen to these recordings, and I would just stay with using the DI out of the bass amp. It allows you to send the color of the amp into the DI to the front of the house. It translates really well. Of course, I've been in situations where an engineer will put something like a Radial JDI directly on my bass guitar. Yeah, that's good too. It gives the front of house engineer a really strong fundamental bass tone to work with. The JDX. You know, I'm not as impressed with this on the bass as I am on the guitar. It did surprise me in that it gave a really nice overdriven sound. That's sometimes beneficial. I've definitely done recordings where I've mic'd up a guitar amp that I'm running the bass through, and I use that to blend with the fundamental bass tones, and it gives a really gritty sound that can cut through the mix, especially when you're using distorted guitars. But overall, I wouldn't rely on the JDX as a single source for my bass sound.